So let's talk about the algorithm. The algorithm on a dating site is basically the parameters that decide who gets shown to who. And I'm going to include within this scope also the functionality of the dating site that tells, how you can message people, who you're allowed to message, that kind of stuff. But the functionality of how the dating site works and who is matched with who basically comprises the algorithm. And that is the biggest change in online dating over the last decade, is that it used to be that the main thing you're trying to do in online dating is impress the girls, right? Get a date with the girl, attract the girls. Now you have to impress the girls and the algorithm. And the fact of the matter is, as a man, and this is the harsh reality you have to understand, the algorithm doesn't give a shit about you. The algorithm does not care. Its job is not to make you happy, okay? Think of it this way. Put yourself in the shoes of the owner of the dating site. What do they want? It's a business. They want money. All right, so the things they care about are the things that bring money to them. What brings them money? Well, fundamentally, the most direct way they get money is when people pay for things. So when people pay for upgraded memberships, people pay for super likes, people pay for roses, any of those kind of things, that gives them money. On a site like Match.com, where everybody has to have a membership just to message, just not even premium memberships, just having a membership gives them money, right? So there's paid members and unpaid members. So fundamentally, does the site care about you if you're a free user versus a paid user? They care a lot more about their paid users because that's what affects their bottom line. However, it's not exactly that simple, because they don't care just about getting paid right now. They also care about getting paid long term, right? And what gets them paid in the long run is having users on the site, and specifically having hot users on the site, and specifically having hot female users on the site, right? The site that has the hot girls is going to be the go-to site. It's going to be the site that makes the most money. And so the algorithm is designed to keep hot girls on the site. And that's why a lot of these new user unfriendly to men things exist, right? Why did Bumble even start to exist? Right? This idea of women message first. Yes, it caters to the liberated woman who's like, I'm taking charge of my sex and dating life. But really, why did it work? It's because the hot girls were having their inboxes flooded with too many messages, and it was annoying to them. And so for them to be on a site where they're not getting hit up by messages from guys they're not interested in as much, it makes the hot girls stay on the site more. It's a useful evolutionary adaptation for the algorithm, right? It's survival of the fittest for the algorithm, and that algorithm has a trait that's helping it to survive and thrive. So again, what's the app trying to do? It's trying to get paid, and it's trying to keep hot girls on the site. And in saying that, you as a probably average or slightly above average looking guy, will assume, not a super male model, probably the site doesn't care about you. Even if you were a very attractive guy, the site doesn't care about you unless you're so attractive that you're literally specifically helping to keep hot girls on the site, which is quite the threshold. And I'm going to assume that like only a tiny percentage of you, if even a single person watching this video, is that hot. So let's just assume the algorithm doesn't give a shit about you. So that makes the algorithm something to manage and something to get around. And how do we do that? Well, number one, the algorithm is ranking you. The more attractive you are seen to be on the site, the more the algorithm assumes that you are keeping attractive girls on the site and keeping them happy. So if you make a good profile and have good photos and you get liked more often, the site is going to like you better, and it's going to show you to hotter girls and more girls, etc. Also, if you seem to be more, especially if you're a paid user, but even for any user, if you seem to be more selective, the site's going to show you to girls you kind of like. Whereas if you seem to be unselective, the site's going to show you to any girls at all, right? So there used to be a strategy in the early days of Tinder, which was to automatically swipe right. In fact, at one point, I had a Tinder bot that literally just sat there and swiped right on every girl, and I'd just see the matches and start messaging from there. That would be a terrible strategy nowadays, because if you were to automatically swipe right on every single girl nowadays, the app is going to be like, oh, he's not selective at all. He likes all the unattractive girls. Let's take all those unattractive girls that aren't getting any matches and show them all to his profile. And you're just going to be shown unattractive girl after unattractive girl after unattractive girl, and you're not going to get any hot matches because you're not going to be seen by them. There's also, in most algorithms, again, this is a guess because I don't see inside the algorithm, I can only go based on how it's performing, but most algorithms, if you seem unselective, they're going to assume you're also unattractive. The idea being that people are as selective as their options. So a guy who has hot girls banging down his door is probably not going to be bothering to like less attractive girls, whereas a guy who can't get a match will be very likely to message some mediocre girls and match with some mediocre girls in terms of appearance. So understand that the algorithm is evaluating your behavior on the site. It's evaluating the responses you're getting on the site, and you want to manage that. You want to make it as good as you can. Now, fortunately, for the most part, managing the algorithm is the same as being good at online dating, because the algorithm will be responding to how girls are responding to you. All right, so for the most part, that's going to be the case. However, there's some specific adjustments for the algorithm. Like, for example, let's say that there's a girl that was very rude to you or has gone cold or whatever, and you may feel the urge to like write something nasty back before you unmatch with her or something like that. That is a very bad idea, because getting reported as negative, getting negative strikes against your account is incredibly bad for the algorithm. And in some cases, it can even get you shadow banned or even outright banned, get your account removed from the site. So you want to keep things positive and cordial, even when it doesn't matter for results, okay? And also, I would suggest if, in a pure results sense, if a girl's going silent on you and you're not messaging and she's not messaging you back, from a pure results standpoint, there's no limit to how many messages you should send her, because there's always a chance she'll come back around and message you again. And if not, it's already lost. However, on a practical level, if you message and annoy and harass her and get reported by her, that's really bad. If you get unmatched by her, that's potentially a little bit bad. So you do want to just stay kind of nice for the algorithm, especially in cases that are kind of lost causes anyway. Now, we'll talk more throughout the course about being polarizing in the right way, getting attention in the right way, etc. And you don't want to be super nice all the time, and you definitely do want to stand out. But what you don't want to be is an outright dickhead, okay? You don't want to be outright rude. You don't want to be outright inflammatory. You don't want to be outright offensive, outright creepy, etc. So definitely draw a firm line on bad behavior, especially in lost cause situations. Just because if a girl frustrated you and you feel like having the last word with her, just understand that by doing that, you're letting her win, because she's now keeping you from other hot girls. So put your own self-interest first, control your emotions, control your ego, keep it in check. That's one example of managing to the algorithm. Another example of managing to the algorithm is, again, I have a lot of clients who are various age ranges. If your age is not helping you with the type of girls you want to date, let's say you're in your 40s and you want to date girls in their 20s, and that could be an issue for you. If the site allows you to not post your age on the profile, that will help you. If your site allows you to not even report your age to the site, or if even theoretically you could report your age inaccurately to the site and then not have it on your profile, that would actually maybe benefit you in terms of the algorithm putting you in front of the girls you actually want to match with. And here's a philosophy, like an ethical philosophy throughout this course. I don't like lying to women. I try not to lie to women. I try and be very honest with the women on the site. However, I have no qualms whatsoever about lying to an algorithm. Right? So if you report to the site that you're a certain age, and that then gets you shown to other girls, and then your age isn't on your profile and they just see you and interact with you, the girl saw your pictures, the girl interacted with you, the girl can ask your age, the girl's gonna find out your age when you meet up with her and date her. You're not lying to the girl, but you did lie to the algorithm to be shown to the girl. That's a lie I'm pretty okay with. So keep that in mind when managing the algorithm. Final thing I'm going to say about the algorithm right here and right now, well, obviously it'll come up in various ways throughout this course when we talk about profiles, messaging, all kinds of different things. But the final thing I'm going to say about the algorithm is the first thing, once again, which is, what does the algorithm care about? It cares about making money. And so if you're a paid user, it's going to take care of you. The designers of the sites, the owners of the sites, it's to their benefit to make it worthwhile to pay for their service. And so a lot of guys, especially a lot of guys that are fans of my content, philosophically have this idea, I'm the prize, I shouldn't pay money for girls. And philosophically, I agree with you. However, practically, that works really well when you're dealing with the girl directly. It doesn't work so well when you're dealing with a gatekeeper like an algorithm on a dating app. So paying a little money to the algorithm to be shown to the girl so that you can be the high value selective guy with the girl is actually really good framing, and I would not consider that supplicating. I would just consider that to be smart. So the point I'm making is, if a site has membership tiers, you should at least consider trying them out. Try doing it free, try and do it with the membership, and see if you do better with the membership to an amount that's worth it for the money. In all likelihood, you probably will if you're doing it right. Sites have things like roses and super likes, obviously indiscriminately sending them and sending them stupidly and sending them bad messages, or with a profile that's not good enough for the girl to even match with you is foolish. But if you have a good profile and you send them with a good strategy, there probably is a strategy on most sites where paying to be actually seen by the girl instead of having her never see you does make a difference. And that's the reality, right? So the reality is this. It's quite possible, especially for very hot girls who are getting a lot of matches, that if you are considered lower by the algorithm, you could swipe on them and you're not getting rejected by them because they saw you and rejected you. You're getting rejected by them because they never saw you, right? You're at the bottom of the queue because you're underneath the paid members who are already promised to be shown to her. And you're underneath the guys who paid for a super like and were promised to be shown to her. And you're underneath the guys whose algorithm potentially is better than yours, and they're being shown to her because the algorithm has decided they're on a similar level, or he's providing more to the site or something like that. So understand that getting rejected by girls is one thing, getting rejected by the algorithm is another thing. And we're going to do anything and everything we can to make sure that if we do take rejections on the dating site, it's at least that we were put in front of a girl and she was given the chance to like us, as opposed to a case where we were never even shown to her. You need to get shown to the girls regardless of anything else.